Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have a tutorial on the Brother Canvas Workspace for the ScanNCut, and I'm going to show you today how easy it is to make a cutout card like this. So if you're ready to learn how to do this, then stick with me and I'll show you how. I'm working in Brother Canvas Workspace in the download version, and the first thing I want to do is to start bringing in all the elements I'm going to use for this cut front card. I know I want a square, which I'm going to transform. I'll put that one in there, and then I'm also going to use a circle for my aperture, and I've got various choices here. I think I'm just going to go with just the plain circle there. I also want a heart, which I'm going to use in this cutout, and then I need something to span this. So I could either go and type in my own text and weld all the letters together so that I have a completely joined word, but I'm just going to use one of the preloaded words here, and I think I'm going to go with family. So for now, that's what I'm going to start with. Now my card is going to be 5 by 7. You could have something different, but I'm going to start with a 5 by 7 card base. So I'm going to go over to maintain aspect ratio here under the edit, and I'm going to make sure that that's not clicked anymore so that I can have the width and the height independent of each other. So for a 5 by 7 card, I need a piece of cardstock that is cut at 10 inches wide by 7 inches high, and then it will be scored down the middle at 5 inches to form the card base. Now you could put a score line in here and then use a dashed line so that you would have a fold. But in my case, I'm going to just use my scoreboard to do that after I've cut all this out. That's just a personal preference of mine. So I need now to work with the very front of the card, because this is where I want this circle to go onto the front. Rather than just guessing where that would be, counting out the 5 inches, what I'm going to do is bring in another rectangle like this one, and so I'm just going to duplicate this and change the size to 5 inches wide by 7 inches high. So it's the right size that I need. Now I'm going to line it up with the base of the card. So I'll just highlight both of those and then align them. And you can align them either to the top or to the bottom. It makes no difference. And then align it to the right. And that is now going to be our front of the card, the front of the card. As you can see, because this blue bounding box is highlighted here, and you can see that's the 10 by 7, that means it's at the front of the layers here. So if I give it some color, you can see that that's at the front. I want to send that then to the back. When I do that, I can now work with this side. Just change the color. And that is our 5x7. Then I'm going to go ahead and group these two pieces, and that will mean that I can move it wherever I like and not have to keep reinventing the wheel, so to speak. So this is only going to be temporary. Later on, I'm going to ungroup it, because then I will completely remove this sort of working section here, and I will have all my cutout here. Whatever I'm going to put here, that will be remaining inside of the card, or it's going to cut right through the card. So while I'm working on that, I'm just going to move that out of the way. So I have my elements here that I want to work with, and this is the aperture that I'm going to be cutting out, the circle. Now it's plotted in at the default, of course, at 3.94. I want to change that to 3 3/4. So the easiest way to do that is to maintain aspect ratio, be sure that's clicked, and then just type in the width, and it will automatically change the height to match it. So that is our aperture. I have my word here. So I want to reduce this in size. I'm just going to drag it to the size I want. And I'm also going to align it to the center. Not necessarily going to have it in the middle, but I could, if I want to, place it in the middle like that. So the thing I want to see is if I'm happy with how I've placed that. I'll just zoom in a bit more for you. Making sure that that is at the front. I'm now going to select both of these, come over to the process overlap, and choose subtract. And that has cut out the word from the circle. Now I'm not happy with that bit there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo it, and I'm just going to make it a little bigger, like that. I may do the same over here. Let's take a look at this. I'm happy with that. That's good. Right, now, before I actually make that permanent, I'm going to undo it so that I can now go in and duplicate the word family, because that is going to come into play later on. So move that out of the way. Let's go in here, go to subtract, and we have the beginning of our cutout. So if I show you what it's going to look like with some color in it, you'll see that it almost looks like a negative. So that is a good start right there. The other thing I want to do is to bring in this little heart here, or it's going to become a little heart, and I'm going to use it inside of this aperture. Now I might go ahead and duplicate it and have maybe another one in a different size, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and duplicate these, because those I'll use later as well. I can bring this into my design and be sure that it's to the front, and I could have it tilted like that, and then I could make another and have it coming off here, and another maybe here, except this one, I think I'll have it like that. Let's take a look and see what it looks like at the moment. So if we highlight all of those, choose subtract, you can see it's cut those out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to move this down just a little bit, and I don't even think I'm going to use that now, so I'm just going to get rid of that one. I can get rid of that one as well. And now I have 3 hearts that I'm going to have in here, so I'm just going to duplicate that, move it out of the way. Now I can go ahead and finalize this cutout, so I'm going to subtract, and there we are. Now, as you'll see, when I bring these in, I'll give it some color. Let's give it a little more yellow, and I bring it to the front. It can now fit over top of this, so as you can see the complete word family that will just be fit here on top of this. Same with the hearts. So if I want to bring those in, I've got those as well. So I would just piece them in like so. So I'll be cutting out these pieces in a different cardstock than the card blank. So let's go back up to our card blank. It's going to zoom out, and I'm going to bring that back here onto the screen. I can just move these away, and now I'm going to bring this in like so, and again that's going to be to the front, and then I just need to choose where I want it. So I think probably going to want it central, but not necessarily to the middle. So this is what I'm going to start ungrouping. So I can ungroup this, and I'm only going to concentrate on this side. So I'm going to highlight these two, select those two shapes, and align them. I'm going to align them to the center, and I'm going to leave it there at the top like that. then I will delete this piece. So now I've got only the card blank and the cutout. So just like we did with all the others, this on the top, I'm going to highlight both pieces and subtract. And there is our cutout. It's as easy as that, really. So I can bring in all my other pieces so I can see what that's going to look like. That to the front. I'll have a heart here. Which I'll piece once I've cut it all out. And then I'll have these as well. So I just quickly bring them over. See essentially how that is going to look. Now there is one other piece that I want to add, and that is to go behind this opening. So you have to imagine that this is looking inside to the card. So to cover that, I could even make this a shaker card if I wanted to. That would be easy enough. But I'm going to make a circle that I'm going to place inside the card. I'm going to bring that in there. And that one I'm going to make, let's see, let's make this about, let's try 4 inches. Now I think I'm going to go with 4 1/4 inches. So if I just for now give that a little bit of color, you can see it's sitting inside the card. So I could use pattern paper, or I could perhaps stamp on it or color it however I like, and that is how it's going to look. So everything is ready. I'm going to send it over to the machine in just a moment, and then we'll cut it out. So I'm going to just move everything out of the way. I can set these up however I like. So when I send this, I need to be sure that nothing is beyond this red dotted line, which is the cutting area. And I'm ready to send it to my machine now. I could name it now, or I could just go ahead and send it if I have no intention of keeping it. So just for this demonstration, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to name it. I'm just going to send it to my machine, and I'm going to export it, or transfer it in this case, via the internet. And now it's ready to download. So I'll go to the machine, we'll cut this out, and put the card together. All the pieces, you can see here, And now I'm going to take my card blank and place it in the scoreboard and score it at 5 inches. There is our card blank. Now I'm going to take family and just place it over top of that. So that fits perfectly over that cutout. Then we have the hearts. We'll just place those again. Just paper piecing these. We'll place this piece behind here. I'm going to place that behind. Now you could, if you wanted to, turn this into a shaker card. Have that opening there, just put your acetate behind. There we are. Family. Now, another thing you could do is to use some faux stitching, which you could do on your ScanNCut using your pen, or in this case, I'm just going to take a pen. I'm going to just go round here, family. That kind of makes it pop just a little bit. Because we have the same background. Of course, you could have your background completely different. But I'm not being too precious with this. I'm just going wherever. Quite a naive sort of word or font anyway, so pretty suited to this. And we'll go around our little heart as well. There we are. So have these pieces, which I'm going to place on here like that. So we've got family together forever. Cutting the pieces on my ScanNCut, I also made some more hearts, and I'm going to place them on the front of here, and then And I've got some little pearls I'm going to add as well. So just to jazz it up a little bit. There we are. These that I'm going to just put in the center of these hearts. So there we have a simple cutout card. Not very difficult to do, but I think it is rather impressive as well. If you enjoyed this Canvas Workspace cutout card, and that you will also give it a go yourself. See what you can come up with. You can make this as elaborate as you like, or as simple as you like as well. I'll be back with more videos on the Canvas Workspace and the ScanNCut, and I hope you'll join me. Please be sure that you're subscribed and that you've hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on when I make those uploads. In the meantime, please stay safe and crafty hugs. I hope you enjoyed this Canvas Workspace tutorial on how to make a cutout card. Not very difficult, really, and if you just follow some simple steps, you too can make your own. You can make it as elaborate or as simple as you like. I will be back with more tutorials on Brothers Canvas Workspace and the ScanNCut, so be sure you are subscribed to the channel and that you've hit the notification bell so that you won't miss out on those videos. Until I see you again, please stay safe and crafty hugs. Bye.